Got it. Flavia, thanks for doing all the snacks. That's amazing. We're really grateful for your help. You're the best.
Snacks? There are snacks?
Of course, there were snacks. We had them placed in your mailbox every morning.
Uh-oh.
Just kidding.
Who has time to go check the mailbox?
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously, I have not been to the mailbox in quite a while.
Yeah, I know. Well, ours is like you have to walk off the property and
Me
go
too.
with the key. Oh yeah. It's just ridiculous. Hey boss.
Yay.
Nice tie.
Oh, I found a lot of my suits downstairs, and I had to travel. I only had 2 or 3 at home. I kept recycling.
Yeah. I think I haven't had a good dry cleaning since before COVID.
Don't post confession online.
Yeah, I know. I was considering that one, but I figured it was worth the laugh.
Yay.
Yeah, Adam's up.
All right.
Oh, and we still have 1 minute.
We still have 1 minute. That's right.
How are you feeling, Adam?
Still about the same.
Oh,
Yeah, it's been going on for a couple weeks too. Yeah, it comes and goes. Ava had something pretty bad for a couple weeks too. I think that's where I picked it up.
mhm.
Yeah, it's just various times of the day. I have to stay kind of to a bathroom. So what would happen as a logical consequence of saying
Adam, I'm sorry. Adam.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We got to do something important here.
Oh, we're gonna see Ava.
The latest Ava update.
Yay. Oh my gosh.
Cotton candy.
it's
She's a
fun-
butterfly.
She is
And
cotton
her
candy.
father didn't send any to Grandpa.
What?
Yeah. Okay, back to you, Adam.
Okay. Yeah. So what would happen as a logical consequence of saying that quote coffee cup only covers present coffee cups and doesn't cover past and future coffee cups?
Drink out of it. Rob Hardy says you couldn't drink out of it.
Well, you can't drink
just-
out of it anyway.
Uh-oh.
Not a quote unquote coffee cup.
Right.
Yeah. What's cool? You can.
You can drink, but if it's an archetype, then it doesn't change. And if it doesn't change, then you can't put liquid in it, right?
Mm. Yeah. So if we consider the category coffee cup to only cover present coffee cups, then a coffee cup would have no link to its past and future components. So if the past and future aspects of objects aren't linked with their present state, then we'd have no way of referencing their past or future instances. How does K-Drip J use the topics of names, words, and letters to aid in his analysis of Wrongton and Cheatson?
Ooh.
Part of it's breaking things down into their like smallest parts, like the word is like an atom, like it's irreducible, but there's more to that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, totally. How does that, how would that parallel, can you give us the same explanation, but paralleling the reasoning that we used to prove that time, or excuse me, that mental things and things of substance have to be made up of smallest indivisible parts?
Not really.
Yeah.
I remember
Okay.
it had to do with the atoms for the physical things, but that's it.
Yeah, totally. So it's just the same reasoning, right? So words in the same way have to abide by the the same ruling. And if words are made of, well, here, I'll tell you what, so names, words, and letters are similar to partless atoms and indivisible moments because they're composed of smaller individual elements. And in the same way, names, words, and letters are all comprised of discrete pieces, which makes them conceptual because you have to assemble them, right, to get meaning. So that's kind of what I was looking for, and it's the same, yeah. So what does KJJ say we should stop doing if something is rakpa dan gyun yina?
I have an idea, but I'll let other people go.
Can we talk about what Rakbatangyun means first,
Yeah.
and then let us take a swing? Like
Yeah.
rough and continuous or something?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so rough I took to mean substance or substantial.
Mhm.
And Dongyun means to belong, obviously, to part of a stream or a continuum.
Oh,
Mhm.
Great.
Oh.
So
we should stop talking about the cup, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Thank you. Kids would say if something is rough or a continuous stream, then we shouldn't accept it as substantial.
Because it would be like a chitzen, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if it was rough, it means it includes many parts. And if it's a stream, it includes many parts. And then for it to be united, there would have to be a concept and not the actual thing. Yeah. And then it becomes a concept and not a real cup in the world.
It's really hard to see how he hasn't painted himself into a corner about how to establish anything as being real in this school.
It's coming. This class.
Great.
That's a good way to say it. He's working hard to paint himself into a corner, I think.
Yeah.
And here, this was your vocab. So,
Good. Yeah.
Let's see our translation.
Can you make it bigger
I
for
sure,
Grandpa?
I sure can, yeah.
Yeah. Can you read, Adam, just one paragraph, just so we make sure you didn't forget how to read, and then you can pick on other people.
Yeah. Gyunze drew Kopalayang, Korang la yope, Kechek Nachi Nam Dang Zechik Kam Tade Chetat Na Gong Tang Tsung So Shema Shing. Ngopo Yena de Tarwa Yin Gopatang, Bompa Shidru Ngopo Mimbom Suk Sok Kang Zesu Madruk Che Mala.
Yeah, let's say, some say, even though continuous stream, Gyunze Drup Gopalayam. No, again, they want to Gokpa. Listen, Adam, and tell me what it says. They want to Gokpa that again could be Zedrup.
They want to deny that the fact that a continuum can be established substantially.
Yeah, they want to say that something that continues over more than a millisecond can no longer be solid or real. Okay, then it becomes conceptual because you can only experience the present instant. So if a thing goes on for more than a millisecond, it's conceptual in this school. And then it's not a real cup anymore. It's an idea of a cup. Okay.
Yeah.
If it stretches over time, it has to be the idea of a cup and not a cup. And the idea of a cup in this school is unchanging, which means you couldn't drink out of it. I'll say it again. If you consider a cup over 3 seconds, you have to make a pretend cup that covers past, present, and future, because the past one and the future one aren't there anymore or weren't there yet. So as soon as you talk about the flow of a cup, you have to be talking about a concept and not what they say is a real cup, because a real cup has to be of the current millisecond. Okay. Otherwise, your conception is grouping three instants together. And that becomes the idea of a cup, and it's no longer a cup that you can drink out of. Okay, cool. So they say, here's our refutation that a stream could exist substantially, meaning as a real cup in the world. Okay, something that streams over more than 1 millisecond is a concept, and it's not a real cup anymore. And here we go. Korang la yepe keching na chi nam. Yeah, it's successive moments. Is it something which is substantially its successive moment? Is the cup the cup of the moment before, the present moment, and the moment in the future? Is the cup of the past millisecond a cup anymore? Is the cup of the future millisecond a cup? No. Okay. Same logic that we gave for atoms.
Recording in progress.
Recording in progress. It's the same logic. When you guys are done, let me know. Good?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I forgot what I was saying. Yeah. Anyway, if something is more than one atom, it's a concept because you're gluing the atoms together. Okay. So a cup, when you talk about a real cup, you got to be down to the atoms of the cup. Okay. When you talk about a real cup in time, you got to only consider the present instant of the cup. Okay. The rest of those things are concepts. Cup that you name on millions of atoms of cup is a concept. Okay. And that cannot hold coffee. Okay. They would say that. Coffee cup. Oh yeah. If something is a working thing, it must exist in the present moment. What do you guys think about that?
Sure.
Yeah, in their
Has
school.
to be true. Yeah.
Yeah, in their school. Okay. Bumba shidu ngopo min. I had trouble with this, Adam, and I had an insight into it today by accident. What if you read Bumpa Shidub as an equational sentence? Like Rebecca director. That's called an equation sentence in Sanskrit and Tibetan. Rebecca director. And then you don't have to say is in Tibetan or Sanskrit, okay? That's called an equational sentence. Blank equals blank, and you don't have to write is. You just say Rebecca director, okay? Mm-hmm. So you can translate Bumba Shidub as the fact that a coffee cup exists, okay? The fact that a coffee cup exists. Does this second school of classical Buddhism accept an idea called the fact that the cup exists? Yeah. Is that a changing thing?
No.
Could that do anything? No. Good. Nice. Ronit's on it. She's listening. And thank you. All right. Yeah. So Bumba Shidub, Adam, if we read it as the fact that the cup exists, okay, the fact that the cup exists, is that a ngopo or not a ngopo?
It's not a ngopo.
Yeah, it's not a ngopo. And that's what this sentence says. Bumba, the fact that Bumba Shidub, comma, ngopo mayin. That's not. Why did I say Rebecca director, by the way?
Yeah. What did she direct? Tell us.
Hey, I'm about to tell you. Thank you, Ben Kramer, for setting me up. Rebecca for about 7-8 years. Rebecca, how long?
No.
10 years.
2004,
For
19 years.
19 years, she has been the director of our overseas language study program. And for example, Ben Kramer went to that, and that's why he's a genius. And Adam Andrade went to that, and that's why he's a genius. And you get actual immersion in the language overseas, and you learn to speak, you learn to debate, and your whole brain changes. It seems to also have some kind of fertility effects. So just kidding. Just kidding.
Kicks in later.
Don't worry about that. But if you're interested in participating in the overseas immersion program in person, learning these languages where they actually exist, I'll show you the QR code shortly, maybe during the break. Okay, I'll show you the QR code during the 20-minute break after this.
Whoever has the code, you can send it to Gina and she can put it up on a.
It's in your email.
Okay, Nick, remind me at the end of the class. I have an idea about future classes. Okay. Wait. We didn't finish the whole thing. We got one more idea there. How about Sukso Kyang Desamadu? What's that, Adam?
But they're not things that appear as a coffee cup. Things that appear as a physical form that's appearing as a coffee cup is not such. It doesn't exist substantially, I guess is when we say. Cannot be established as substantially existing.
Yeah, that's a little tougher. The physicality, I would read it like the physicality of a coffee cup. The physicality of a coffee cup. Does that exist substantially? And my answer would be physicality is another concept. And therefore it cannot be, you can't pick up physicality. You can pick up something that's physical, but you cannot pick up the fact of physicality. I think that's what he's talking about here. All right, let's go to the next one. Adam, you can pick on somebody. 404. She's real.
What? Can I ask, boss, does Shidu also kind of have like a connotation of being like established by logic almost, so that like when you look at the buff through the mode of Jepaksema, that the one that you're looking at then is unchanging?
I think you could say that. I mean, I usually don't think of it that way, but I think it's a valid comment that the word established as reality is a synonym in Buddhism for existence. And as we know, the function of pramana is to establish that things exist. And direct perception is used for establishing changing things, and indirect perception or logic is used for establishing concepts or unchanging things. Okay, I think you could say that. That's fine.
Okay.
What's the Beach Boys song with 404? God, everyone's too young.
4-9?
She's real. Oh, she's real fine, ma. 409. Okay, let's go to 404. That was the horsepower. That was the horsepower of their car. Okay. Never mind. Hey, I got the same blank looks that I get during words text. All right, Adam, your turn. Who's you gonna pick on?
Yeah, I got Zoe pulled up. Is Zoe here? Can you hear us? You want to help? About Eleanor or Zoe? Here we are. Hi, Zoe.
Hello, teachers.
Hi.
Are you calling me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Maybe a little noisy.
Hey, Adam, don't forget to
Which
follow
one?
with your cursor.
Sorry.
We're at 404 here.
She's real.
Chi là dân khả thị
Ngứa,
ngón
ngứa.
The boy,
ngón tay than chỉ khang yin chẹt
Mhm.
ri pena
Yeah.
chẹt thắt
Okay, chick.
thắt chỉ chắc mẹ thắng chắc mẹ yin chẹt
Yeah.
lên kề là
Lynn
Len
Depla.
Depla. Nice.
lên là
Yeah, let's read Adam's translation. If someone were to ask, what is the classical example of a working thing? Answer with this. If it is something which is mental in the sense of being made up of indivisible moments, and it is something which is made up out of. Okay, good. Yeah, and you got to get the sense of it. They're trying to distinguish between the idea of a coffee cup and the real coffee cup. But if you go that way, you have to go down to the atoms of the coffee cup, because anything more than that is conceptual. Anything more than that is a decision to how many atoms you're going to call coffee cup. And in time, anything more than a millisecond of perceiving the coffee cup, a millisecond's perception of the coffee cup is the only real coffee cup. And if you talk about the coffee cup from 801 to 802, you're already talking about an idea and no longer a coffee cup. What's holding the coffee actually is the present millisecond of coffee cup and nothing more. Okay, that's his position. And these are all extreme consequences of thinking that things are self-existent. If you are second school and you believe that things have some kind of concrete existence, you have to go down to the milliseconds or the atoms. And it's very similar for the Abhidharma idea of ultimate reality. Dundam Demba in the Abhidharma system is anything that you don't have to, anything that is irreducible mentally is ultimate reality, like atoms or like partless moments of time or stuff like that. Okay, that's so in these two lower schools, you have this common theme that to be real, you have to get down to the atoms or the milliseconds. And that's extremely similar to science. Okay. And it has the same problems that science has, like you blow up the world. Okay. She's real fine. No, she's real, my 405. 405. Adam, who's up?
Somebody else to help us. We called on Eleanor. Eleanor, did you hear us last time? You there?
People
yeah.
get worse when they call on. Okay, here we go.
Hi, Eleanor. We're at 405 here.
Khá
Okay.
hí thải lón thải
Ba.
khá tá khá kick
Chick.
kick nick tị 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 giáng 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 mar
Ma.
ma ma nu heart
Good.
and zug
So
zug car
Okay.
gate kick char
okay.
Chick. Cha. Me.
kitchen mate in na đắng
Ngô. Ngô po.
ngô in thi
Che.
chị
Dark.
so Dog. Dog. Par.
Ba, tak ba.
Da. Ba. Cá. Xuống. Ký. Dưới.
Su,
Dưới.
yeah.
Ký. Lên.
Len,
Lên. Đi. Bar.
the parche.
Departure.
Cheek.
Cheek.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice.
Thanks, Eleanor.
Thank you.
All right, Eleanor. Yay. Okay. Some masters with delusions of grandeur. So because you have the R on Kepa, Adam, it's an you have to read it as some people who have the delusion that they are a Kepa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Some people who have delusion that they are great philosophers, they say they don't even want to say as much as the guy before said. The guy before said that to be a real functioning thing, you have to get down to the atoms and the moments. Okay. They don't even know enough to say that. So they say, Bumsuk Kechik Chamayina, it says something is the individual moments of what is experience a coffee cup. Okay. There's a possible. They say something's only a working thing when you get down to the milliseconds of visual form. Or you can say physical form. Okay. So they don't want to talk about time much because you get in trouble when you talk about time. When you try to isolate a single millisecond of time, it's difficult to talk about it did something because there wasn't time for it to do anything. Okay. So Bumsuk, he says, let's forget about the time thing. Let's go to the physical thing. Bumsuk Kechik, a single millisecond of a single moment of the physical part of the coffee cup. Okay. If it doesn't have those tiny parts, it cannot be a ngopo. It's the shortest instance of a cup's existence physically that allow it to do something. Only when you get down to the atoms that can do something in a millisecond can you find the real cup. Because the cup of the moment, the millisecond before doesn't exist anymore. And the cup of the millisecond after hasn't come yet. So those two don't exist anymore. So the only real cup is the present millisecond, okay? And that's the one that's holding the coffee. Only the present millisecond can do something, they say, okay? And then he says, but they have to say they have to say that theoretically. Okay? Why? Tapatasung, you guys know that now. It means they have to say that theoretically. Why? Because no one can observe something doing something in a true millisecond, 1/65th of a second. Nobody can actually observe that. So they say the only real coffee cup is the one that's functioning. The only one that's really functioning is the one in the current millisecond, because the one of the next millisecond hasn't come yet. And the one of the past millisecond doesn't exist anymore. How could you say it holds coffee? Okay, so it's only the coffee cup of the current millisecond, 1/65th of a second, that's doing something, but it's unobservable. So we have to say it's theoretical. Okay, these guys, and they think they're super, they're like, wow, we really got it. Okay, okay. Len Depache, they give us an answer about what's the real cup, but they couch it in language like saying, look, we can't show you the reality of it, but logically, this is the only possibility. Nobody can observe it, but logically, it's the only possibility. They say, in theory, only the tiniest millisecond of a cup is holding coffee. And once you go past 1 millisecond, that becomes a concept and it can't do anything anymore because you're uniting 2 milliseconds in under a concept. Okay. All right. Cool. Then you're talking about a concept. Okay. All right. All right. She's real sick, my 406. Wait, what happened? Oh, that's all. Dang, we have to go here. Okay. 406, right, Adam?
Yeah.
Oh, this one is hot. Maybe we break it up, Adam. I'll break it up and put it back together. Okay.
Okay.
Let's have someone do that much. You decide.
Let me find somebody here. Elena? Elena? Let's see. Natalia? Is Natalia here? Okay. Lindsay? I know Lindsay's already, she's always
I
happy
talk
to
a lot.
participate. Yeah, thank you.
Ni K Kang Do Do
Ngopo?
No
Ngopo?
Nopo
Yeah.
Kang Boompa Sob Chitsen Yinpar Dodpa Yente.
Yeah. Whether you're talking about smallest instance or whether you're talking about smallest atoms, both of those guys, Nika, they, in the end, they'll have to say that the coffee cup and any working thing is a composite. Okay, Chitsen, it's a group because you can't observe anything doing anything in a single millisecond. Something has to change. You can't say something did something if something doesn't change, right? You can't say my friend built a beautiful garden if there wasn't raw dirt in the beginning and a beautiful flowers later. You see what I mean? You can't say somebody worked or somebody did something unless there's two different things, the way it was before they worked and the way it was after they worked. Okay, got it? So both of those guys in the end are going to have to say that functioning things and coffee cups are concepts.
Yeah.
They can't get out of it. And that's impossible because concepts don't change. Okay, so either position you take about the partless moments or about the partless atoms, either way you go, the only way you can say is that it's a composite. It's a composite of moments or it's a composite of atoms. Otherwise, you don't get to a thing. So they end up having to say this ridiculous thing that both functioning things and coffee cups are concepts. Okay, they are concepts, Chitsen. Okay, they are archetypes. They are unchanging mental archetypes. Okay, they have to end up saying that. Okay, now this is who's writing this book, Adam? Oh, Caleb J. I think he was hanging out with Geltov J too long. Why would I say something like that?
He's going to say something nasty here.
Geltov J is the master of sarcasm. But I think Caleb J was his student in sarcasm. Okay, who's up next, Adam?
Let's see. Can I have a volunteer from somebody there at the college?
Now, that's never gonna happen, Mr. Andrade. I'll give you an. How about I just show you everybody? I can do it.
That's nice. That's fun.
These little quarter of an inch heads.
Yeah, it's a shame I can't.
Oh.
Oh, there's Kelsey, Venerable Jigme, Rosa,
Yeah, there we go.
Chloe,
Are sitting off to the right.
Yao Ping, Connie, John Brady, Rebecca,
let's-
Dennis.
JB, can we do?
There's Otto falling asleep in the back. Okay, who do you want, Adam?
Well, I got some ideas here. Let's go with Juan. Hey, Juan, can you help us?
Hey, Hassel, come on. Don't take too long. We don't have much time. Dum 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 dum. Bum bum. Here we go. Please start here.
Perna,
Ah,
perna.
Perna.
Ha. Lula, chungu.
Ow, 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 ow.
Lula. What happened? It's
Yugo.
Yugo.
Yugo, not
Yugo,
Chugo.
yes.
Ah,
Nu ching. Ching. Chimpa. Chimpa shakpe.
Yeah.
Chingte. Me ma.
Mapo.
Mawa.
Mawapo.
Mawapo. Rangwang me parechepale.
Good. Perna, for example, what's a yugo? What's a danda, you guys? Danda in Sanskrit.
Stop. Stop.
Shoot.
A stick. So yugo is the Tibetan for stick. And if you lay it on somebody's liu,
Body.
yeah, nun means to strike them with a stick on their body. Or if you put a shakpa around their din,
Chin. Chain.
din means voice, neck. Yeah, if you put a hangman's noose around their neck, okay, and you tie them up, ching,
Mhm.
then sometimes as you're choking somebody, they go, "Ah, ah, ah." Or when you hit them, they go, "Ah, ah." Okay. Don't forget this example. Okay. Some people, when you hit them with a stick, they go, "Ah." Some people, when you choke them with a rope, they go, "Ah, ah." Okay, good. I think he better read the next one too, Adam, because how could you let him stop now?
That sounds great. Thank you, Juan. Would you mind?
Yeah, yeah.
Kibu.
Kiebu.
You got the cursor. I'm having my
Okay.
chai
Kiebu ngarme.
dharma. Sorry,
Dharma.
dharma. Yeah.
Dharma. Dharma or dharma?
Dharma, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kiebu dharme.
Mhm.
Ngang sulchen tak ki tsiki trengwa chungieldu mawatar.
Yeah, especially if you hit somebody with a stick or you choke them with a noose. Noose means the hangman thing. Dharma means a coward. It's the opposite of a hero. Okay. Then if the person is a dharma, and by the way, that was an extremely difficult correction, and you owe me for that.
Noted.
Those dharma type people, not dharma, right?
Mhm.
Those dharma type people. Tsiki Chenwa means what's Chenwa?
Necklace, garland.
Yeah, a garland. Tsiki Chenwa means a line of words, like a string of words.
Mhm.
A string of words. Chung Gyaldu means all of a sudden, whoop,
Mhm.
like that. Chung Gyal means whoop. So what's he saying? If you hit them with a stick,
The words
All
are-
of a sudden, right?
those cowards, they'll be, oh, I didn't do anything. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know. Please don't hit me anymore. I don't know who I am. Okay, they'll just start robbing whatever comes in mind.
Wrong
Don't
one.
hit me with a stick anymore. I'm so sorry. Okay, got it? Or you're hanging. They're like, I didn't do it. Okay, they'll start blabbering anything. Okay, you understand what's coming? No, okay. Let's let Hasa finish it, Adam. What do you think?
Yeah. Thank you. Also, can you?
Please do the cursor.
Ajá. Drel pa chung se kyang me ching. Giel wat sam shing ni Horsepe Siki
Bua.
Bua
Yeah, Bua.
Bua Buala
You owe me for that one too.
Buala Poi Dunki Rochungsatsul
War.
where oh yeah War Chepayino.
Yeah, Jalpa man, what the stuff they come out with as they're being hung in the last moments of being hung, or while you're hitting them with a baseball bat, what they say is Dewa Mepa.
All disconnected.
Totally disconnected. Has nothing to do with anything. Oh my and just random utterances of a person who's dying. Okay. And everything they say will be Gelwa.
Contradictory.
Totally contradictory. They'll say anything, they want to get the rope off them. And there won't be any Ningbo at all.
Essence.
Yeah, I mean, what they say won't have any real meaning at all. Okay. Tsiki, it's just buas.
Bubbles.
Look.
Blobbles. Blobbles.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
just bubbles froth coming out of their mouth. Okay. I'm doing a good job on this one, right?
Very good.
Okay, thanks. You would have to look hard to find even a little bit of Ningdun.
Actual meaning. Actual meaning.
To get any sense, to get the slightest sense of any kind of meaning out of these dying bubbles. You'd have to work hard to find anything that makes any sense. Now, do you know what he's saying? Yeah. Yeah, if you say there's a functioning thing, which is conceptual, you're just like those guys that you hit with a stick and they go, ooh, ah, ee, ah. And what you're saying makes as much sense as what they say. Okay? But he spent a whole paragraph on it. Okay, got it? By the way, there's a thing called Parkupkitsikche word. Parkupkitsikche.
An interstitial verse.
Yeah, sometimes in a difficult work, they'll have a little poem in the middle. And you take a mental break. And I think this is what he's doing here. He's like trying to get us to laugh to see how many people are asleep. All right.
Gashala.
Yeah.
The Drelpa or Drelwa?
Japa is acceptable because maybe it had a D on the old one. Yeah.
Okay.
But good question. Good question. Okay. Who's next? Adam, do you want to choose somebody or you want to have Hasso choose somebody or what do you want to do?
I like that system. Hasso, would you mind choosing somebody for us?
Sure.
Then they hate him and not you.
What about Dennis?
Whoa, Dennis! Yay!
Thank you.
Thank you. What's that dog's name? Merlin? Marlin.
Malibu.
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 You don't want to call him Malibu? All right, okay, go ahead. You got the cursor. Don't be shy.
She might read better than me.
I know.
Duh.
You got the cursor. You got
Ni
Donnie.
de ga
Adam, you're correcting.
pa tan bar
Demparja.
den bar cha te de la yang yo bo yin na rang san
Sin. Wrong sin.
and yin mi go bar dod
Good.
be de pay
Choke.
choke
Yeah.
de gag pa dang yo bo sog
So
da
Ze.
ze
Jesus.
su Ma. Rube.
Droop.
Bar. Dod. Bay.
Choke.
Choke. God. Top.
Yay! Okay, let's gawk at these guys. Da means hey now. Let's gawk at these guys, Adam. What's that mean?
Let's refute with it. Yeah, let's refute that.
Yeah, let's blow these guys away. All right. Now we're gonna have two. We're gonna stop them in two different ways. Number one, we're gonna prove that if something is a ngupo, well, let's say it this way. It's not true that it's not true that if something is a functioning thing, it must be rangsen, a real thing in the world. A real thing in the world, okay? Is it true if something is a functioning thing, it has to be a real thing in the world and not conceptual? It is true.
Yeah.
It's true, okay? He says that's not necessarily true, and we're going to prove that he's wrong, okay? Which means it is necessarily true. If something does something, it has to be a real thing in the world. It cannot be an archetype or an idea, okay? In this school, okay? In this school, yeah. I mean, if you get into high school, everything's okay. Okay, so that's the first. He's gonna stop the guy from thinking that it's not the case that if something's working, it has to be a real thing in the world. He thinks there's some exception. We say there's no exception. Then he's gonna say there is such a thing as a working thing, which is not substantial, okay? Which is not made of atoms or moments of time or anything like that. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna have two parts here. Here goes the first part. Do you want Dennis to choose somebody else, or would you like to continue torturing him and seeing what noises come out?
I think he did a good job last time. Let's
Good job.
Oh, yeah, Dennis, do you mind helping again?
Yeah. Cursor.
I'd love to.
I mean, you can curse at him also. Never mind.
Dong bo ni
Yeah.
she ya
Shija.
ja cho kan
Cho-Chen?
cho chen rang gi zung yol du gear pei
Chi.
chi
Chi.
tan
Zen. Chi-Zen.
chi zen jiao
Jiao.
Jiao.
pei
Wei.
wei nyung
Wei.
Yeah. Yunsun.
Sung se ma yo pa tal
Nice.
boom wom
Boom.
boom
You can say bomb if you're talking about Adam. Say
add
boom. Okay, boom.
take boom zin nyung sum se mei
Sung.
sung
Yeah.
yul yin bei chi san yo sen yo
Yeah.
bei cheer.
Yay! Okay. Here's first. Sheja Chuchen, Adam.
Consider all knowable things.
Yeah, and then he says, look, there is a Ngunsum Tema,
There is a direct accurate perception.
which can grasp as its object a chitin.
Yeah, which can grasp as its object a concept or an archetype, a mental image.
What do you guys think? Can a direct perception, usually a sense perception, perceive a concept?
No.
Yeah, mainly.
Probably
No.
not in this
Eyes
school.
can, no, you cannot. But we say, oh, are you saying you can see a concept with your eyes? He says, why do you say that? And we say, because you said that there was a chisen, a conceptual thing, which could be perceived by the same perception that holds a vase or a coffee cup. Now the idea is this, you guys. In these arguments, in this term, in Adam's book, and listen, the guy's not crazy. He says, look, in the end, the only reality is atoms and milliseconds and pieces of vowels or pieces of consonants, clicks and, clicks and woos, In the end, everything boils down to that, okay? That means anytime you see a coffee cup or anytime you hear a sound, for example, you are actually seeing a group of things. And your mind is putting them together conceptually.
Mhm.
So he says, even when you see a coffee cup with your direct perception, necessarily you are seeing a concept. Because coffee cup is a thing that covers many, many atoms. And somebody had to glue them together. Anything that's glued together is a concept and not. Then he's required to say, therefore, that you can have a direct perception of a concept. You okay? You all right? Okay? He's required to say that because he said the only real reality is the millisecond of existence or an atom of existence. Everything else is a concept. Put on atoms, put on a group of atoms. That's not bad, right? Okay, so we said, okay, then a coffee cup is a concept, right? And he says, well, I guess so. All right, who's next, Adam?
Dennis, you mind going for one more?
Oh, you shouldn't have come to class. I told you.
It's a pretty
He-
Dinner coming.
He had a cinnamon roll. Had a cinnamon roll today and it affected his judgment. Okay. Go ahead. Don't forget your cursor.
The
Ma-
better I see.
Not Adam. Ma Rub Na
Droop now?
Droop
Yeah.
Adrup Na Bum Ba
Bumpa?
Chi Sin Yin Ba Wu
Boom.
Awesome.
Pa Bu.
I had a shot in
Thank
my
you.
Boomba just before class. Okay. If you don't agree, the guy says, no. Coffee cups. I'm sorry. No. No. It's not true that I'm looking at a concept when I look at a coffee cup, he says. Then we say, okay, if you don't agree, then stop saying that vases are concepts. Put on atoms. Stop saying that, okay? What's booming, Adam?
To blow out or to spit.
Yeah.
It was it's used to like if you're gonna blow on a horn or something.
Yeah, it's okay, that's boo. Blowing a horn. Okay, and he says, I blew away your idea. I blew you away? Okay, I blew you away. All right, let the poor young man choose somebody else, Adam.
Yeah.
He's been a good sport. I think we'll give him pizza tonight.
Dennis, can you choose somebody else for us?
Sure. Rebecca.
Thanks, Dennis.
Thank you.
Rebecca. 2 minutes.
There you go. Nick, did you go on the overseas study? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys want to be like Adam or Nick or Ben Kramer
Or word.
or Word,
Yes.
talk to Rebecca. It seems like the most amazing translators are all the ones who went for overseas immersion study. which is a good name for that.
It is an
program.
excellent.
All
name,
right. Okay. So
actually.
please
It's
read.
wonderful. And it supports them too. It supports Sarah. So
All right. Please read.
Holy. Ndina Chadin Sung Yildu Chepe Ngunsum Sema Yipatel. What Padang? Wadang. Wadang.
Who's
Wadang.
checking her? Adam.
That's me.
Come on.
Yeah, tell
Hawa.
Hawa.
Hawadang.
Yeah.
Hawatang.
Can you put the cursor under the?
Yeah,
under the- okay,
sorry.
good.
Ngunsum Tokche Yipatel. Tawat. Ransan Sung Yoltu Chepe Jepak Sema Yapartal Way Kyunjungo.
Yeah, good. Kin at the end here means what, Adam? You get lots of kins.
It's a problem. Like it's problematic. Problems would arise.
If you claim that a coffee cup is a concept because it has to cover a bunch of atoms, for example, then there's a lot of problems with that. Here's my list. Then the ngunsum sema, den sungi de chebe ngunsum sema, yabata. There would, number one, there would have to exist a ngunsum sema.
Mhm. Yeah, an accurate perception, a direct accurate perception.
Which took as its object that it held Jordan.
A literal, like a literal, like a phrase or a literal words.
Yeah, or the meaning of a word. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's the first problem. A direct perception would have to understand a concept of a meaning of a word. Okay, first of all. Then the second problem is that ngunsum sema,
Yeah, direct
perception, would have to involve tokpas without the S.
with conceptions.
Yeah, it would have to be conceptual. Direct perception would have to be conceptual. There would have to be. And there would also have to be a jetbox sema.
Mhm. Yeah, a deductive perception, deductive accurate
There
perception.
would have to be deduction, which could perceive the actual cup. Deduction is always used for concepts. It's never used for perceiving blue, yellow, cup, stuff like that, okay? Then according to your system, there would have to be a logical perception of an actual cup in the world, okay? Like that, direct perception. We have any time, Nick?
we are out of time. It's time for us to take a break.
Baby, 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 you're out of time. Okay, I'll stop singing if you pay me. Stopped here. Is it June
You can sing all you want, but we'll pay you
to stop?
whatever you need. No, to keep finding the errors in our texts.
All right. Congratulations, Adam. Good job this time.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry,
Say hi to give a hug to my granddaughter. Yeah, I know your stomach's not great, but thank you for sticking it out.
No, I just feel kind of queasy. It's good. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. It was a really good. I'll tell Avi I said, hey, it's a really, really fun term. Thank you so much.
And to be a translator, you gotta kind of tough things out sometimes. All right. And Nicholas, how long do we have?
We have 5 minutes for this one. And I just want to make a quick announcement that we're getting very close to hitting that fundraising goal so that we get the $12,000 match from DCI. So I think we need $1,900 more dollars. I know all of you guys have given, but if some of you were on the fence, it's a great time to make that donation to the Mixed Nuts because it gets doubled almost immediately.
If we make that, how much is left, Nick?
Another 1,900.
If we make 1,900 matching, we will have made this in the last 2 days, 36,000, I think.
Whoa.
Yes, sir. 36,000.
Yeah, and if you guys don't give 1,900, we won't make it. No pressure.
I'll give an option for you guys. Today's special is I mentioned before, there is for those of you who are studying Tibetan, that's amazing. If you can do the live classes with Word, amazing. He's a great teacher. We also have a new education platform where you can subscribe to some video classes with Ben Kramer, which are really, really great classes too. And you can, do them whenever you feel like it because they're recorded videos. And Ben's a good teacher too, and he gives some really great tips on studying. There's a link right there. It costs $50 for the class, but you get a class. So can we consider that part of us making it to the additional 2,000, Geshe Michael?
Hey, you're the El Jefe.
Donate $50
And yes, we
there
can.
and you get a class. So, all right.
Okay, and during half of the break, could Gina show the Overseas Immersion Study Program? Okay, the QR code.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay, Grandpa's gonna take a trip. I'll see you in a while.
Thank you, sir. See you in a few.
Bye.
5 minutes, you guys.